I'm Meredith with Extreme Terrain, and today I'm talking with Ed about his JLU. Thank you so much for joining with me today.
My pleasure.
Ed has a 2021 Jeep Wrangler JLU Sport S. He's also sporting 17 by 9-inch fuel assault wheels in satin black with a negative 12mm offset that gives the Jeep an aggressive stance, a 285/70R17 BF Goodrich KO2 all-terrain tire, and then has a stock suspension. Can you tell me a little bit about why you chose this setup in particular?
I went with the matte finish because the shiny I thought might be just a little hard to take care of. I live in Arizona. There's a lot of dust. So no matter how you clean it, within an hour, it's dusty again. It's just how it works out here. So I went with the wheels, because I did like the way they look. I looked in your Extreme Terrain magazine and then talked with a couple of your people as well who helped me a great deal.
How do you use your setup? Do you mainly daily drive it? Are you off-roading it at all?
So when it started, it was a daily driver. Now it's kind of a weekend toy. I would like to do some off-roading, but I think with the way the setup is, I definitely can't do rock crawling. I don't think I have that skill set.
Ed has the 17 by 9-inch fuel assault wheels in satin black with a negative 12mm offset, gives the Jeep an aggressive stance. Can you tell me a little bit more about your decision behind this wheel in particular?
I like the vehicle to stand out. The wheels, I didn't want it to stand out any more than the vehicle, but I wanted it to say, I'm a good accessory. This is just how good I can look without overpowering the Jeep itself. And then the satin is because I kind of like that duller finish. It's not too flashy. And again, the dust, it would always look dusty anyhow. So you know what, let's just keep it matte.
Can you tell me why you chose Fuel as the brand?
They really seem to have the aspect of the wheel that I was looking for.
Now, to get into the sizing, is there a reason why you chose 17 by 9?
I thought about 18, and again, the vehicle didn't have a lift because my wife's 5'3", she's a little older than I am. I had to balance making it palatable so she would want to get into it. I had to keep it, concise to what she could use.
The 9-inch width paired with the negative 12mm offset gives the Jeep an aggressive stance. Why did you go with that size combo?
I did want a little bit of a more muscular, masculine piece of this, and I came from 265s instead of 285s, but I also did not want to have to do a lot of trimming. So I went with the 12 just for the aesthetics of the vehicle itself. I wanted it to look just a little brawny.
For everybody watching at home, Ed has the 285/70R17 BF Goodrich KO2 all-terrain tires, which is equivalent roughly to a 33 by 11-inch tire. Why did you choose this tire?
What was important to me was quiet. I don't need the road noise above the fact that it's a soft top, so I'm dealing with that noise as well as if the top is down. So if I could bring that to a minimum. But I also wanted a tire that had a good looking tread. Again, it is all about the aesthetics. The AT tire, as opposed to going to a passenger car tire or a mud tire. I think the mud tires would have been way too noisy. Again, so I needed a little comfort.
How do they drive? So they're not bothering you with any road noise at all, or any bumps or knobbiness within the tire?
No, and I think I have about 6,000 miles on them now, but I haven't noticed, again, there's still with 6,000 miles, they're still pretty quiet. I hear the tire a little bit when I'm turning slowly. I can hear, I guess, the grip, but I am still pleased with the tire and the level of sound that I don't get.
Now, how do the tires feel and ride compared to your stock tires?
The funny thing is, I didn't notice that big a difference between what was stock there, because that was an AT tire. One thing I did notice is when I brought it down to, I think, around 37, 38, and that was because I remember it being 38 before, and that made a difference in the road quality, the ride quality. But comparing the one to the other in sound, I would say they were as quiet as the stock tire, so I was really pleased.
Why did you choose a 285/70R17 or equivalent 33?
Not being a technician and not being, I was trying to figure out what I could do, keep it in a budget, okay, and not play with that steering radius and still have some room in the top in case I do take it. I figured if I went bigger, I would lose more space from that front fender area, because I hadn't decided if I'm going to remove those and put something else on or not. So I wanted to deal with what I had. And knowing that I'm not going to be going to, to the heavy duty Moab or even the Arizona heavy duty trails, I stuck with the 17. I was just worried about if I'm correct, with 18, I might get a lower aspect ratio, which would make it a little bit less comfortable because I have less flex in that sidewall.
Let's get into your suspension. You have a stock suspension. Why did you choose to stay stock?
Probably because it's not something that I could do on my own. And I don't understand the geometry and all of that because, if you put it on wrong or it's not the right setup, I imagine it could be a catastrophic event.
Now, when you did put on the wheels and tires, did you have any fitment issues with the larger tires and the stock setup?
Yes, I thought it might. I'm trying to remember if it was locked. I always wanted to make sure lock to lock was clear. And I don't think it was lock to lock, but there was a point where I could hear it. And so I took a Dremel and I dremeled, I believe it was probably part of the bottom piece. Wasn't anything crazy. I was able to get it. And again, all I did was just enough and just a little bit more for whatever reason. So just a little bit of overkill, but nothing crazy.
How do you like the way that the Jeep looks with the wheels and tires and the stock suspension all combined?
I do like it. I see ones that are lifted. I think for my lifestyle, it's going to be fine. So I like the way it looks. I like the way it drives. I like the way it handles.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for all of my questions. Thank you so much for joining with me today and telling me all about your experience with your Jeep.
Thank you.
So again, you have a 2021 Jeep Wrangler JLU Sport S. You have 17 by 9-inch fuel assault wheels in satin black with a negative 12mm offset to give the Jeep an aggressive stance. You have 285/70 R17 BF Goodrich KO2 all-terrain tires equivalent to roughly a 33 by 11 and the stock suspension. Again, thank you so much for joining with me today. And for more videos just like this, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.